I'm Moonray. I started this channel to get into the backgrounds of the new moons and the full moons that are coming up. Okay, yeah, okay, that mug is full of beer. I've been drinking beer for like a while now, and I'm a little bit stressed, just like a little bit. So, just a nice forewarning that I might not make a whole lot of sense. But I think I should, and I think I will. Anywho, I started this to help people utilize the new moons and the full moons. I'll create a whole nother video here soon about the difference and what you should be doing at what different times. I also want to create a video on the retrogrades, because right now there's a lot and it's insane, and Mars is in retrograde and it's making me feel like really, really aggro. But it's alright. I can calm myself down. I'm good that way. Anywho, we have a full moon in Aquarius coming up on the 27th, I do believe. It's on Friday. I'm making this on a Monday, and it's on Friday. It's coming up. It's a lunar eclipse, which, from what I've read, really just makes it like more intense. It's the same thing, it's just more. It's like it's like a small glass of beer versus a pint versus a few pints, and the eclipse is a few pints. Let's put it that way. It's a drunk moon. It's a hella drunk moon. Aquarius, I mean, what? Aquarius is weird. I feel like we know this generally. If you know about astrology, you know Aquarius is hecka weird. Like, aliens. They're aliens. But it's fine. They're just weird, and they can be that way, and we'll accept them. My moon is an Aquarius, so I feel like I understand it. At least on an emotional level, which means I don't have like a lot of emotions. Anyways, Aquarius is an air sign, which it's commonly mistaken for a water sign, because Aquarius, I mean, it would make sense. Just the word makes you think water. Not to mention the glyph for it looks like water. But I actually think it's electricity. I actually think it's more about electricity. My boyfriend just became an electrician, and I learned from him that electricity within a building is much like the circulatory system, and Aquarius rules our circulatory system, as well as like our ankles and shins, but it rules our circulatory system. And in an electricity in a building, so you have all these wires, right? And they funnel into a generator, which is like a heart. And then it comes out into all these wires like veins. And it's really very similar. So I think, in my mind, that the glyph for Aquarius has a lot more to do with electricity and vibrations than it has to do with water. Even though I can see how it looks like water, and how with the word Aquarius it seems like water, it's not. It's air. And energy is in air, and vibrations are in air. So, bring it back down, it makes a lot more sense. It's about electricity. It's about air. It's not a water sign. I thought it was for a really long time too, honestly. But it's fine. Anyways, I digress. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is a planet that is, it's air. And it's on a tilt, which just adds to the weirdness, right? I think that the tilt kind of gives it that edge, that gives it the originality and unexpectedness. A really cool thing about Uranus too, which, you know, a lot of people say Uranus, but I think that's just so that people don't giggle when you say Uranus. But that's fine. I grew up with Uranus. I'll stick with Uranus. It wasn't discovered until 1781, and it was discovered by Sir William Herschel. And at first, he thought it was just a comet. But then after watching it for about a year, he realized that it was a planet. And it's really interesting because the discovery of Uranus was post-astrology, post-palmistry. So something that I've been, I've only done 2 videos, but this is my 3rd. But I wanted to include palmistry as a correspondence into the planets and the signs that correlate with the new moons and the full moons. Uranus doesn't have a palmistry correspondence because it wasn't discovered by the time palmistry was originated. So there's nothing in there that has to, classically there's no Uranus in here. But Aquarius was originally ruled by Saturn, which is this finger, your middle finger. It is this mount right here. And, Saturn rules at Capricorn. And it is, Saturn's that dad that doesn't give you your allowance until you've done your chore. And Uranus isn't that different, but he's more like that dad that is kind of like, yeah, you'll do your chore. Maybe I'll pay you. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do something super insane and it'll either work out for you really well or it'll be totally bonkers. And it's just kind of fun that way. Like, you never know what's going to happen. I guess that's everything. You never really know what's going to happen. But Uranus is all about that independence, originality, that spontaneous, like, what's he going to do next? Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Uranus is his own boss. Uranus was actually, in Greek mythology, the first sky god. The sky god who got with Gaia, the earth goddess, and made the Titans. And, myth has it, he hated his children. Cronus, who is the god of Saturn, the Saturn god, was one of his children. So interesting because Uranus feared that Cronus would take his throne. Cronus did the same thing with Zeus and his children. So it's a never-ending cycle, you know. It's this fear of who's going to take my throne, who's going to take my throne. But maybe we should just, I feel like it's all about letting go of power, in a sense. Yeah, power's nice. But when you're holding on to it too tightly, it's quite destructive. Yeah? Let's let that go a little bit and let things flow like electricity and vibrations. Anywho, Aquarius is corresponded with the tarot card, the Star, which is the number 17, which simplifies into an 8, which is all about karma, and Saturn's all about karma. Uranus corresponds to the Fool card, which is a 0. And it's all about stepping off that ledge for the new adventure. And I have this book, and it's the Sexual Key to Tarot, and it's very interesting because the star card has everything to do with sexual maturity, whereas the Fool card has everything to do with sexual immaturity. So I feel like everything kind of flows together, yeah? So the planet that rules the sign is immature, and the sign is mature. So it's stepping off that ledge into maturity, in my mind. It's the willingness to grow up, but not to stop saying yes to adventures, because that's what life is all about, and that's what the Fool is all about, regardless of sexuality. It's always, you always want to step off this ledge into a new adventure, because if you're doing the same thing every day and you're never starting anything new, that's so boring. I feel so sad for people who just do the same thing every day and never go, well, here's this idea I have, and I think I'm actually going to start it, and I'm actually going to do it. It's oh yeah, I had this idea, but, you know, I'm not actually going to, like, do anything about it. And that's what I think this moon is about. You have all these ideas. You have these original, creative, artistic ideas, and, I mean, take them. Step off that ledge. Go with them. Have fun. Be artistic. The danger in the world is narrow-minded people, and if people aren't gonna listen, then that's okay too. That's their choice. But don't let them get to you. Don't let them stop you. Don't let them stop you. If you have artistic ideas and you have original ideas, do them. Start them. Even though everything's in retrograde and it's insane and, like, not honestly a great time to start anything, start it anyways. Just for your own joy and pleasure. And if you're feeling like me with the Mars retrograde, it's just to, start these things just to get over your own, like, aggro bullshit. I think. Whatever. Alright. I actually drew this, like, really pretty flower over here, too. And it is clove. And clove is a good herb for Aquarius. It's, what's the word? It makes your joints, like, not feel like shit all the time. It helps, like, I can't even think of the word at all. It's when things are anti-inflammatory. It is an anti-inflammatory. And also, when you smell cloves, it makes your tongue numb, and that's cool too. It's fun. I like it. Alright. Moving on. There's a lot more herbs, and, like, when I'm sober, I'll put them in the description, because I don't even know where I'm going right now, but that's fine too. There's also, amethyst. Amethyst is the stone of Aquarius, and blue is the color of Aquarius. Aquarius is a masculine air sign. It's all about, like, flowing with the things that are gonna make you feel like a boss. And, why not do that? Oh, I'll show you. Okay. I have two. I actually have three. My other one's really big, and so I'm not gonna, like, deal with that. But this is amethyst. This is amethyst. It's purple. It's beautiful. It's pretty. Deal with it on this full moon. Keep it near you. purple and blue, purple and blue. Cooling colors. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I started to talk about, okay. So Uranus and Gaia. Gaia is the earth goddess. And they had children together. I actually had a dream about Gaia like a few nights ago. It was very cool. She was very peaceful. And she was like, everything's going to be alright. And she was like very curvy. And it made me feel really good. And it was right after I started like studying for this video and learning that Uranus, the sky god, so the sky and the earth got together and they made Titans. How dope is that? Like Titans and giants. So cool. But then they like, I mean, not Gaia, but Uranus, he kind of hated them. Which, I think a lot of people kind of hate their children. Which is a bummer. I feel like it makes more sense to raise the kind of children that you would like instead of a person that you would hate. But, I mean, that's child psychology and like a whole other thing. So, beyond that, he hated them, he feared them. His children hated their children and feared them. The never-ending cycle, yeah? Uranus is, I mean, like, it's a ball of air. And it's on a tilt, and it's, I mean, just throws you curveballs left and right for funsies. And, I mean, considering that Saturn used to rule Aquarius, it's interesting to see that, like, they almost, in my mind, it's like they replaced a, like, strict military dad with like this weird like hippie dad that was kind of like, yeah, like you do what you do, but I'll do what I do, and then whatever happens happens, and that's fine, and you know, we'll just play and be spontaneous. And it's a fun time. It's a weird time. I don't even know how to feel about it. I have a lot of feelings about it, but I have like no feelings about it. But I guess that is Aquarius, very unemotional, but like more analytical about emotions than actually emotional. You know, it's not like a Cancer where Cancer rising where we cry all the time. It's more like, why am I feeling this way? What's making me feel this way? Do I like the way I feel? Is that something I want to keep doing so that I keep feeling this way? Or is that something I need to stop doing so that I stop feeling this way? That's Aquarius. That's how Aquarius and Uranus deal with emotions. Very analytical. It's like the Virgo of air signs. Just like very flowy and not grounded, but like very paying attention to the details and like not crying about it. Just like, okay, what needs to be done then? And, you know, it's weird. I'm a Virgo and then my moon is in Aquarius. So it's like not a lot of emotion. I have emotion, but I see it in a different way. But then, you know, like, I'm Cancer rising, so I cry all the time. But then, I don't know if I fully experience emotions or if I just think about emotions. I guess it's a mix. It's the weirdest thing. Emotions throw me off in a big way. Give me any kind of problem, I'll solve it. But if you are just emotional, I have a hard time. because all I want to do is fix it. And that's alright too. We're all allowed to feel and not feel what we feel or don't feel. It's very personal. When we do what we can for each other, right? That's what matters. At this point, I'm just going on. And I will add more facts to my descriptions. And if you watch this, I'm a ramble factory. So I'll just go on and on about things that, like, make sense or don't make sense. But in here, they make sense. So I guess that's what matters to me. And if y'all want to listen, that's tight. And if you don't, then that's cool too. You do what you do, and I'll do what I do. And